Power Araria in northern Bihar who have traveled all the way from Bihar to share their life experiences, how they have been part of the transformation at the ground level. The team Desi Power is an NGO, it's a not-for-profit foundation working in this sector for over 2 decades now. We have with us Mr. Eklavya Sharan, who's going to talk about his journey and what his company does, what his organization does. So I hand it over to Mr. Sharan now.
Thank you. Thank you, Anurag ji. And thank you, everybody. Good morning. So I am Eklavya Sharan, representing my company, Desi Power, which stands for Decentralized Energy Systems India Private Limited. We primarily work in Araria district, which is one of the poorest district in the country. In fact, 2 days back, Niti Aayog's report says. So we are from there, and over 2 decades we are working. And I am here with my colleagues, Gurudev, Radha, and Malodevi. So they are the people who are really working on the ground, and they are the real heroes who are making this happen. And they are from the village. We have trained them, and today they will share their story. And I will begin with the presentation. The company is started by our chairman, Dr. Hari Sharan, way back in 1996, who lives in Switzerland. And by the way, today is his 92nd birthday, so we wish him happy birthday, Dr. Sharan. So company's main focus was, is a not-for-profit to the promoters company. And we work mostly on rural development activities. And as I said, we started in 1996. And that, our program called Empower Partnership Program, that is employment and power to the people. So this is what the theme we started, and we started working, taking into this. And it is a technology-driven solutions for social economic progress of villages. So our focus was, in the beginning, we started with biomass as a base technology to start generating power. And we are one of the company, have spent a lot of time, over 14 years, to make technology perfect, working in a local conditions by trained local men and women. And one of the example is the lady who's sitting here who manages our project in one of the village in Bihar. So it is we have an integrated solution, like we link income generation in the villages, how to generate income in the villages. And this is possible only by creating jobs. And through their energy and energy services, we try to create jobs. So energy is one side where clean energy can play an important role. And as I said, we started with biomass as a main source of energy. Gradually, we also started working with solar, biogas. And today we operate mostly hybrid, not one technology, but biomass, solar PV as hybrid technology in the villages to try and reduce the storage to a minimum level. So this is the model. We also have developed a small tiny grids, which is solar PV based, which is, for the small places for 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, where electricity cannot be reached and pumps can be operated. So we have gone to those level we call as a tiny grid model. And as I said, in biomass, we have contributed a lot. Our first project, which was in Orcha, which has operated for more than 70,000 hours and supplied power to the micro enterprises connected with the power plant. And these are the SDG goals which our projects can meet in the villages. This is a diagram which talks about the integration. One side we say that electricity from the locally decentralized power station, we're using the local resources. So generate power and supply to the various applications which is either to create in the village or is available in the village. Then we also deal with a lot on the agro-residues and energy plantation. Because as we talked about, if we have to run a biomass plant, then we have to deal with the available agro-residues and value them. And also, we have worked on the energy plantation for more security to the biomass power plant. Secondly, it also enhances income to the farmers. Like one example I can say, we had promoted a wheat called Daicha, which grows between 2 crops and which grows very fast. In 2 months' time, it is 1 inch and 1.5 inch dia it comes. So the leaves is a very good nitrogen fixer to the ground. So that leave it there in the field, and the stem will come to the power station, and then we use this as a biomass in our running the power plant. On the other side, we also have worked on the cow dung, water hyacinth for generating biogas for cooking and manure for the agriculture purpose. We also have a foundation, it is called Desi Power Foundation, that is mainly supporting our activities in terms of training center, because training is one of the major factor in our program. Without training, we believe that it's not possible to make it everything work. If our people are well trained, they can manage project, which we are seeing today, they are able to do that. Then we have developed energy plantation for fuel and food, both purposes. We also have done using biomass for clean cooking fuel. Through the pellet, we have developed the clean cooking solution, which is we are also operating. Then we have organic farming. Last year, we started working on the chemical-free and organic farming facility that our Desi Mantra supports us. Then we also have dealt with sanitizer and biogas plant in the village. So as we have been, the theme is the decarbonization. So our project have been dealt with the decarbonization in a very, the way we designed the project, that not only in the beginning, supplement of kerosene, diesel. Even today, we changed the diesel, diesel-operated pump set with green power. On the soil, on the agriculture also, we are trying to work very hard to use organic fertilizer, organic way of doing, to be able to reduce the burden on the soil. So these are the kind of, and for the cooking side, through the clean cooking, we have done through pelletizing, which is good, for the health purpose, mostly for the women. It is very, very important. And benefits which we all know. Sir was also talking, project has to be viable, otherwise how one has to buy power. So all this design where we also have done taking into consideration what is the capex and opex, how it will be covered, that will be inbuilt into the tariff model, how farmers will be benefited. So we have not sold electricity for the pumping set, but we have sold water to the farmers. So that has reduced burden on them, investing in the pump set or running them. Instead, we are just selling them water. And they pay us a price which is, of course, cannot be comparable with the grid, but is cheaper than diesel pump set and hassle-free for them. So that is the benefit to them. And we have seen in our village, farmers have gone from 2 crops to 4 crops in a year when they had the available water. And today my village is totally changed. We can be very proud and see that a lot of changes happen, not only because of us alone, but government's effort and, roads are there, electricity is there. But still we are present in the village. We still continue working there. So these are the things we see. And scalability, of course, there are potential, but it has to be linked with many aspects. How a microgrid, cost of microgrid also has to be in a way that tariff has to be matching with that. So today we see that if we set up a plant and if it is not matching with the load, if you are building a higher capacity plant with higher storage system, then it will not be viable. Similarly, if you are also doing a under-rated capacity plant, that also will not lead to the ultimate aim of the project. So we also have developed a dynamic model tool, which is, we have worked with our partners from different places to be able to optimize the system, to be able to design the system such a way that the capex of the system is up to the level which is required. And secondly, what is the minimum LCOE it can generate? How load management can take place during the 24 hours of operation? So these are the things we have done in the last couple of years to be able to make sure that project is more viable. And, challenges for finance, it is there. If it is a standalone plant, we have to raise funds. So finance for not only for the project, but we also have believed that together with microgrid, we also need finance for building micro enterprises in the village. Because if we can do together, project will be more successful, more viable, because both will be interdependent. So some of the things we have tried, we have built some micro enterprises business cases in the village, which are dependent on our microgrid. So the factor, the tariff, what has been given to the micro enterprises has been factored into the ultimate product. For example, even water, drinking water. We have done some turmeric production. We have done clean cooking. We have done cattle feed kind of business model we have developed in the villages. And of course, sir, you have been talking that how it will be linked with the grid. That will be ultimately the way forward we will be looking. This is the project which is, in one of the village called Baharwadi, which is where we have solar and biomass-based microgrid, which supplies power to pump sets, different type of loads, also in the marketplace. So we have a combination. We try to mix the hybrid and supply power to in the village. And sir, as you have been telling, household lightings have been definitely dropped. We don't supply too much household lighting because they don't need, and we also don't want to go into that, charging them high power. So we have focused more on the shops, commercial loads, than pump sets like that, and this is a change of model, I could say. And I also tell you, Malodevi, who's sitting here, she is the main operator of this plant. She manages everything. She runs the plant, and so she will talk about herself after my presentation is over. We also have another example from one of our hybrid plant. This is again, here also we have biomass and solar both. And here we have dependent lot on the micro enterprises load. So this is the one kind of model we have. As I talked about tiny grid, so this is the model we have developed, small plant for different, only for lighting and small pumps. Some examples we have shown that how this has created. We have developed and 40 pilots in different areas in our area district. Biomass management, as I've been talking since, biomass is an important part in our project. So we manage biomass not only with the agro-residue which is available in the village, but also trying and growing energy plantation and managing them for the power plant and also for the cooking energy projects. And dynamic modeling, I have been talking, so just a small example how we can manage with the load and plant so that is more sustainable. This is the example of our food and forest we are doing, where without using any chemical-free thing. Last year we have started. We are hoping that in that we have involved 16 farmers, and Radha is sitting here. She is one of the farmers working in this program. And we expect that within 3 to 5 years, this project will start generating enough income for the farmers for their livelihood. We also have done a biogas and sanitize project. We have developed, we have set up a toilet in the village for the women and men. With that, I will stop because I also like you